Alright, Will from UTV Outlaws here. Today we're going to be working on Tim's machine. So what do we got going on, Tim?
Alright, so this thing rides good, and I didn't really notice or think that it could be much better, but then after seeing lots and lots of reviews about shock therapy and different spring companies and stuff like that, we've realized that, you know, the tender spring is collapsed, and that's supposed to take up, you know, your slow speed chop, you know, bumps, going over rocks or whatever. And after watching reviews and looking at reviews, determined that I wanted to go shock therapy. I'm jumping and doing trail riding, and if you're going fast, everything's fine, but when you slow down, you notice that it's a little harsher. And these reviews and stuff that I've watched point out that, you know, the bigger springs or non-collapsed tender springs make everything ride a lot better. So we went ahead and went with shock therapy on this machine, and hopefully it rides a million times better.
Yeah, so on this too, he got both the lower and upper spring. He also got the adjustable collars, so it's something I didn't do on my machine. So we'll have the unboxing here in just a second.
Alright, so let's see what we got in here. I do like this spray foam packaging.
Yeah, you got this thing wrapped up pretty nice.
These are rear uppers.
Oh, you got everything labeled?
Yeah.
Nice.
The big difference. Now show them the difference between the two here.
Yeah.
This will be the new upper.
Yeah, we're going to need a couple spring compressors, I feel. They're going to be taking up that whole body, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. So then these front lowers. These are the crossover rings. O-ring, and it's a two-piece to where you can slip it between a spring and tighten it down and then loosen it up and adjust it as you
This
know,
gives you a little bit more adjustability to the shock.
So these are front uppers, so these will go with those, which is a big difference too. These are rear lowers.
Yeah, those are massive. There you go.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
Yeah. So another thing we're going to try to do, probably not going to be successful with this machine, is last time we just loosened up on my machine, we just loosened up the bottom of the shocks, you know, put everything out, and then we tried to reassemble everything in the, you know, without taking the top apart. But I don't think with these things being so long, I don't think we're going to be able to accomplish that. So we're probably going to have to pull all these out. So probably going to be a decent amount of time lapses on this stuff just to speed the video up.
All right, so we got our measurements. I think it was 15 and a half in the rear and 16 in the front. Find a good flat spot. If you watched our other video, we already basically did all this, so we're just gonna kind of cut to the chase here. You gotta pull your rubber tube out of the way. Will's was already off on the other machine, so now everything's accessible. I have limit straps, so I have to do it a little bit different than the last time. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut my zip tires I have here, trying to keep the limit strap away from the exhaust. And
another thing too is we're thinking with these springs being so long, we're going to need at least 2 compressors just to be able to, just to get everything back together. Like we mentioned, we're going to try to get these, you know, do the same as we did on my machine. trying to get everything done, you know, while it's mounted still in the machine, but probably not as likely with these. Alright, so on the other video that we shot, you could get it so much by hand just by turning the spring, and then after that you have to go in these holes here and spin the whole thing up. So he's gonna obviously have to, with these springs being so long, he's gonna have to run this thing the whole way up, and then we're gonna, like we said, we're gonna try to get that done in the vehicle, but probably not gonna happen.
It's probably got to come out.
Yeah, so we're gonna try it. And then the other side, we're probably just gonna go ahead and time lapse that just to speed everything up.
A little bit.
There you go, WD-40.
Alright, so it took a little effort getting this rubber bump stop up. Some WD-40 and a screwdriver, but
Yeah, a little bit of elbow grease. So just gotta pull it up a couple inches, make sure everything clears, and then you can pull that plate out of there. And then everything slides apart. Same thing. You know, this collar goes down, and out comes your tender spring. Good?
No.
Alright, so we slid everything together on the shock. We need a couple more inches out of it, so we're going to go ahead and do this spring compression tool. On the rears here, I feel like, you know, you could probably get away with just one compression tool, but on the fronts, you know, everything's probably going to be a lot tighter, I would imagine. Alright, so we got this compression tool. We tried to keep it as low as possible to keep it from rubbing the shock body. Same thing we ran into with the other one. Another thing, they put these little, I don't know if it's a decal or if they paint that on there, but it's just shock therapy, so you want to make sure, if you're doing the same springs, you want to make sure that that's facing, you know, the proper way. It's not upside down. So let's go ahead and see if it works. You got it?
line the top up, Jeremy. Just wiggle the top, huh? There you go. Okay.
See, if you had the compression tool up toward the top, it'd be rubbing on that body right now.
Okay, let go. Okay.
Looks like it's good. So obviously everything's gonna have to rotate a little bit once we get this compression tool off of there.
Grab the gun.
Right now, you know, they're opposites of each other, so you can just slide that collar back in there. So we'll show the final assembly here in just a minute.
Alright, so we got the springs on. It was a little more complicated than the Razor aids we did because it uses the whole shock body, which I think is awesome because they're getting, I feel, probably the most potential out of the shock, you know. But it's on. There's very little play. I mean, everything's still loose. It's just sitting there right now.
Yeah, we haven't moved the collar down at all yet.
But
Oh, you know what?
what?
You forgot to move. You forgot to put in your adjustable collars.
No, that's what's nice about that.
Oh, you can
So-
slide that on later.
Yeah, they unbolt in half. and
That's
you
right.
Slip them on.
Gotcha.
So I think we're good there. But we're gonna put a little preload on this and bolt it back up and leave this side alone. Get the other side going. We'll time lapse that. Same thing over there. And then once we set it on the ground, see where it's at, then we'll get to adjusting it. Because I did like my ride height, but we'll see if we can keep it the best we can. The 4-seater, the bigger tires, and the ride height is a big deal when you're coming into trail riding and stuff like that. So.
All right, so we got the springs on there, and just to check it out, we went ahead and left them, the collars basically loose, and set it on the ground, and it was not far off of where I had my suspension adjusted, so that was higher than stock, so I'm sure it was near stock height, but we're gonna go ahead and preload this to like 2 inches and see where it gets us, and then once we realize that it's okay, it'll maybe go a little bit further to where it can settle, you know, after sitting or riding or whatever. I still have to get limit straps on and the bottom nut on. You know, I still got these limit straps here that's got to be put on. So we're going to see where that's at, and we're going to go from there. All right, so we got everything back together.
Do you want the in there?
Go ahead and restart.
Oh no, just go from the top.
No,
I can cut into it.
All right. No. Okay, so we got everything bolted back up, back on the ground. Got it a little bit higher than it was originally, thinking that it's going to sag, you know, over the little bit of riding and sitting in the garage until we're out rolling. Another thing we noticed is this spacer here on the other side was rubbing the body when we would push up and down on a machine. So I tried clocking the opposite side, and I'm going to give a call into them and see what they got for an idea on how to get that to stop. I think what's going to happen is you just turn the spring until it's even all the way around the bottom.
So we tried clocking them 180. We tried, you know, setting them up so they interlock into each other, and they, yeah, both of them tend to rub the shock body just a little bit. So we're gonna have to give a call into them and see what they say.
I've seen it on a lot of machines where they're rubbing the body, and this did rub the body. A little bit of dirt got in there between the cup and the body, and it rubbed a little bit, and I ended up jacking it up, cleaning it out, clocking it till it didn't do it no more. I just want to see what their thoughts are. They obviously deal with thousands of springs and spacers, so they should know something.
Oh, Tim's in here working it hard. Get it, Tim.
All right, so we got that side off, taking the shocks completely out so we can just do them on the bench and make our life a little bit easier. But I got limit straps, so they're not stock bolts, they're extra long, and it makes everything a little more complicated.
Yeah, so we're just pulling everything apart right now, and then we'll show you guys what's going on.
First off, this thing is super light. And it's super
Yeah, for
soft.
experimental purposes, we decided to check this out. Now he
And
turns
I
it over to
can't-
hard.
I can't even budge it. Well, we at least know they're still working. But I don't know if we're going to be able to do this without a spring compressor, but we will find
Or two.
or 3. Front upper.
You got the print on the spring is right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Guess I'm just curious how much it sticks out. Actually, that's not horrible.
Wow.
Yeah.
No spring compressor.
Yeah, it looks like it should be
see.
close.
Oh, it's good. Oh, I forgot it. This one's raised up.
Yeah.
I didn't wipe this off yet. Hold on.
Show us the spring shoes, Jeremy.
Oh, yeah. Got our local comedian here. Them are some nice muck boots you got, bro. What were you doing? Plowing snow this morning? Yeah! Great! I want them. Well, they're still good for like 400
We're
a
going to have to
corner.
attach these to you. So you can
Get
go
the
jumping around.
ratchet straps! They're still good for like 400 a corner. So if anyone wants to buy these springs, they're still out
There
on
you
the
go.
market. So obviously, it's not going to go without the spring compressor.
So we're rigging it up right now, and we'll see how this goes. But eventually I do plan on sending this to Shock Therapy to have them revalve all of my shocks and try to get the best out of my ride. But for now, this will have to do, and this should be a big difference than what I'm used to. So
Yeah, just try not to bite the whole bullet at once. Do the springs now, and then, you know, send them off probably next winter.
almost.
Might be able to pop it. Look close. There we go.
Watch your fingers.
Just gotta make sure as this whole thing together, everything slides evenly and slides right back into place.
Just leave it like that.
That's it.
Alright, so he's got the front end finished up. I preloaded it roughly 2 inches. It's a little bit higher than stock. Trying to, see if it sags out or not. If not, we'll adjust it, in a month or so. Don't really have much riding to go on. It's winter. It's snowing right now. So we'll see how it, turns out, how it rides. I have no idea at this point, but we're gonna have some more videos coming, some more content, and
We're gonna try to do a winter ride somewhere. Do something, anyways.
trying to put together some sort of winter ride. Don't really have any ideas at this point, but if you guys have an idea, let us know where you guys like riding in the winter, and like, share, Facebook, YouTube, subscribe, and if you guys have any questions, message us or comment on the posts on YouTube or Facebook. Thanks. Alright, so let's see what we got here. Two-piece billet mount, carrier bearing. It's got rubber bushings so you don't feel vibration through your frame and everything. There's other companies out there that have them, and I've looked into them, but they don't all have rubber between, so you're going to feel more vibration.